So
Okay,
what
we're
happened?
live. I think YouTube just crashed.
Hey everybody, we are live
We're
again.
back.
I was in the middle of my my list, my Disney list, or actually the very beginning of it. So here it is. Here are the correct answers for 5 favorite Disney soundtracks, also known as the 5 best, because that's just what it is. At number 5, oh man, and this is so hard. We were talking about it before the show. There's so many good Disney soundtracks. And spoilers, Prince of Egypt, if it was Disney, would be in this list, but it's not Disney. So at number 5, we're gonna put Aladdin. You've got You've Never Had a Friend Like Me. You've got A Whole New World. You've got what I don't know what it's called, One Step Ahead of whatever. Like, I mean, every song on that is gold, right? It's just gold. At number 4, we have a Goofy movie, 25 years old yesterday. That's right, I keep track of a Goofy movie's birthday. It is absolutely wonderful. If you've not seen the Goofy movie, I'm going to go ahead and say you should stop the YouTube channel right now and go watch it and come back and watch the upload of this and be like, you know what? He was so right. Goofy movie changed everything. Because it is so good. It's a coming of age tale. It's a father and son growing together tale. It is, I mean, it is just like, look, it's 90s. I'm not going to lie, but it is awesome. That you after today, eye to eye, stand out. So many great Tevin Campbell songs. Definitely trying to impersonate Prince and Michael Jackson, but you know, it's great. It's great. At number 3, we're going to go with. Oh, this is hard. At number 3, we're going to go with Tarzan. Phil Collins kills it in this soundtrack. There are so many good songs in the Tarzan soundtrack. You'll Be in My Heart. What's the other one called? This about
Strangers Like Me.
Strangers Like Me. Oh, and then there's even a little drum song that's really good.
Oh yeah.
Where they're making a mess in the camp. Like it's great. It's a great
That's
soundtrack.
What it's called. It's called Mess in the Camp.
It's called Trash in the Camp.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Dang it.
Number 2, and also obviously be letting us know in the comments what your favorite Disney soundtracks are, even if they're not correct. So at number 2, we have, and look, I'm reaching back into the late 80s, early 90s here, but Little Mermaid kills it. Okay, Little Mermaid absolutely kills it. My earliest memory, I'm not lying to you, I really think this is my earliest memory. It's definitely the first time I remember being embarrassed. I'm standing on my parents' coffee table watching Little Mermaid on VHS that my grandfather sent me for my birthday when I was like 4. And I'm singing Under the Sea as loud as I can with Sebastian the Crab, and I turn around and my parents were watching me, and I just was like terrified. But it was like it's an incredible soundtrack. I mean, you got Under the Sea, you've got Who's It's and What's It's Galore, whatever that song is called. You've got
Part of Your World. Yeah,
Part of Your World. I mean, like there's so many just killer songs in that one. And at number 1, there's so many that were contenders, right? There's so many that you're like, could this be the one? Because I'll tell you a couple. Treasure Planet has one great song. It's called Jack's Song. Is that what it is?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's by the Goo Goo Dolls guy. And then Mulan has a few great songs. Specifically, I'll Make a Man Out of You. If they were all like that, that would definitely be on the list. There's so many great Disney soundtracks with at least one great song. But for the final one of this group right here, I'm going to go hard with Beauty and the Beast. Okay? Beauty and the Beast from the opening number. Bonjour, 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 all the way through. I mean, I think there's something there that wasn't there before. Tale as Old as Time. I mean, they're killing it all the way through with these songs. I'm a 34-year-old bald dude that likes guy stuff, and I'm telling you, Beauty and the Beast soundtrack, straight cash, homie. All right, so that's what I say the best 5 are. So obviously that's correct, but feel free to disagree in the chat. They're going to disagree in a little bit. Thanks for having me on the hotline. Have a great time on the show, and I'll be back, Lord willing, full force next week. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this because this is my tagline, and you know that's what I think. Be bright, be light, and stay classy.
That's right.
Didn't even say it right.
Thank you so much, Tyler Holland, for joining us. Twombly, are we gonna finish that discussion, or are we gonna move on to something else? Right?
I mean, we might as well.
Okay, we might as well. We can shake things up.
So he's wrong.
Opinions are flying already. We haven't even made second list. Do you want to go ahead and give yours, Twombly?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead. Look,
All right.
Little Mermaid, dumb. Doesn't hold up.
Little Mermaid's dumb.
as some of
Don't
the
hurt
other
my
ones.
feelings.
Wow.
It's not dumb. It's just I don't. It's not. It is not in the top 5. And Beauty and the Beast is close, but also not in the top 5.
Yeah.
At number 5, I've got Hercules.
Good.
Classic. Number 4, Lion King.
Yeah.
Classic. Number 3 is a Goofy movie. That's one of the movies that made my childhood even better and continues to make my adulthood even better, even though my son doesn't like it yet, but he will. Number 2. Number 2 is Aladdin. I mean, like Tyler said, he's right about this. It's a classic. So many good ones. Number 1, Tarzan. Easy.
Preach.
So many singable songs that don't even have to apply to the movie Tarzan. It's just Phil Collins classic. He'll get a statue for it someday. It's going to be great. Josh, let me hear what you have.
It's hilarious because I didn't make a list. So what I'm gonna do is just collectively agree with all of you, and then no one can hate me. So.
Here's what we can do, Josh. I can go, and then you can be thinking. We didn't want to put you on the spot there, but we still want your opinion.
Okay. Okay.
So let me start with saying this. I enjoy every movie that has been mentioned.
That's fair.
Love them. Love all the music. And I say that to say I don't think any particular Disney movie has a bad soundtrack at all.
Yeah. Okay.
I think all of them are solid. Just some more. Some are more memorable and impactful than others. So I'm going to start with a wild card here at number 5. I'm going to say Toy Story has a fantastic soundtrack. I mean, you got a friend in me. Not Strangers Like Me. That's Tarzan. But Strange Things Are Happening. When Buzz comes in and Woody's like, "Not in my town." All that good stuff. So that's my number 5. My number 4 is Lion King. Pretty much a perfect film. Not the new one. We don't want to talk about that. So number 4 is Lion King. Number 3 is Mulan. Mulan is fantastic. Love the music. Love the story.
Did I leave that one out? I did. I felt really bad about it. I actually felt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I felt bad about it leaving Mulan out, but I had to. I didn't identify with it as much as some of the others.
Yeah. So number 2 is Hercules. I can go since all of the southern gospel voice stuff.
Which one did you just say?
Hercules.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the southern
zero to hero gets.
Yeah.
It's so great. I'm hearing Stitches in the comments. Boy, do I love me some Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, y'all don't even know how good Jump 5 was. Y'all don't even know.
But unfortunately, Lilo and Stitch is not my number 1. But I love that movie so much. Lilo and Stitch is fantastic. My number 1, which is not a surprise to anybody, is Tarzan. Phil Collins is my boy.
You're my boy.
He is fantastic. He has contributed so much musical talent to the music community and music industry, and has innovated so many things. And when Disney asked him to do it, he didn't have to give 110%, but he did.
But he gave 120 instead.
He poured his heart and soul into Tarzan, and he was like, "This is not just a movie. This is part of my life. This is what I'm passionate about." And he just knocked it out of the park.
I'd like to ask an older person who followed Phil Collins like whole career if this is his peak. Like, is this what he'll be remembered for?
Well,
I mean, I said he'll get a statue for it, which in sports means that like you're forever.
Right. I mean, he has a statue in my heart, and that's not an idolatry thing.
You should have just quoted "You'll be in my heart."
So a little bit of Phil Collins' history. He was in a band called Genesis with Peter Gabriel, who is also a fantastic artist. And then they went off and did their separate personal projects with their own bands. And as
And
far
they're
as I
still
know,
successful.
they're still friends, still successful. But you just have two powerhouses right there.
Yeah. All right, Josh. You don't have to do it in order.
Okay. So okay. I have an idea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to list some movies, and I'm gonna list one song from each movie that is the reason I chose them. So
Okay.
5 is Tangled, because When Will My Life Begin is
That's really good.
so good. Next
It
one
has a
is
really good what's it called? It reaches its highest point
yeah, like a
at the
good
end
G.
when she gets out of the tower,
Yeah,
and it's really good.
very
I
nice.
watched it the other day, yesterday.
I need to watch Tangled again. It's been a while. My
It's
next
really
one
good.
is Mulan, because I'll Make a Man Out of You is just you play it. It's so good. You can't
Another
beat that one.
classic.
I put Tarzan at number 3 with You'll Be in My Heart.
Okay.
It's
fun.
not anything wrong with the soundtrack itself. It's the fact that I don't. It's just that Tarzan is not my favorite Disney movie, so
Oh.
it's just hard. It's hard for me to separate those things. But I will definitely say Phil Collins good. It's a good soundtrack, just not my
You
favorite.
mean you don't identify with a man lost in the jungle because his parents died in a shipwreck and he's raised by gorillas?
No.
I jive with that.
Wow. The next one
What's your number 2?
is You've Never Had a Friend Like Me, because Aladdin is really good. And then I realized, for my number 1 pick, what I'm going to I actually have the best movie soundtrack is Tron Legacy, because Daft Punk.
Ooh.
It's so good.
I'm never been more proud.
Tron, okay.
Tron Legacy is so good.
You're right, and I think we need to give a round of applause for our boys Daft Punk that just killed it on that
So
movie.
good.
I agree. Thank you for reminding us of that, Josh.
Yeah, and also Journey, because they did Separate Ways when he gets into the when he sees the video game like for the first time and he finds his dad's office, they play Separate Ways. Really good transition.
Side note, not Disney. Ready Player One also has kind of a similar vibe to Tron. Love it.
Josh, what's your number 1?
That was my number 1, was Tron.
Oh, what was your 2? There's
one my number 2 was Tarzan.
Great.
3?
Oh, I don't have my list. My camera died. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. My
That's
number
okay.
3. My number 3 was You'll Be in My Heart, and then 4, I'll Make a Man Out of You. 5, When Will My Life Begin. That was it.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
That's a good list.
Let's move on to the next segment. Do we want to continue with Day in the Life? See what's going on in your life, Tyler, and mine as well.
Yeah, today I've been making some phone calls to members. If you're a young member out there in your early 30s to mid 20s, appreciate you sending me to voicemail. Real talk though, it's been a good day. We went on a walk. It's really nice out today. If you get a chance, you should go on a walk. Lane, what did you do today?
I also went on a walk this morning. It was great, lovely weather. I thought we were going to have some colder weather this morning because of the storm that came through, but it is quite warm today, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Excuse me.
Agreed. Josh, you're back.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, played some Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild today. Hunt some Lionels. Got some weapons.
I need to get back into that because I got it on an emulator for my PC, so I can play it with my Xbox controller.
I have logged over 325 hours on it. It's ridiculous.
All I had left to kill was the lizard, and the lizard divine beast. But I left and didn't come back to it.
Right.
To do that
then for lunch, I made some 5 cheese tortellini that I got at Sam's yesterday.
Praise him.
And then the piece de resistance was that I cut up some Nathan's hot dogs and put them in with some Alfredo sauce. It was fabulous.
New segment, Food with Lane.
I'm
actually
into that.
That's a great transition. Tyler is going to talk about what he's doing with food today.
Yeah, this is your soup of the day segment with Tyler, and your soup of the day is Zuppa Toscana, which is an Olive Garden classic. Shout out to the OG. Zuppa Toscana is basically here's the ingredients in case you want to make it at home. It's like about 2 of those 2-liter things of chicken stock. You can put it in the crock pot, whatever. Uh, you got to put in some potatoes. We do not put in our own hand cut potatoes. We use the microwavable ones and then just put it in at the end. Maybe some people have a problem with that. It's quick, so we do it. You got to have your ground beef, or we use spicy pork sausage or spicy sausage, whatever your preference is. And then at the end, because you don't want it to get soft, you add kale. Kale gives it a nice little crunch, and it doesn't taste awful with meat alone. Good luck. And then my personal favorite, you douse it, and by douse it, I mean drown it, which is funny because it's already in chicken stock. You drown it in Parmesan cheese, and that is how it's done. That is your soup of the day segment with
Nice.
Tyler, Zuppa Toscana.
That's wonderful. So Tyler, I think we've just bounced around our schedule all kinds of sorts of ways today.
You know, it's
Oh, yeah,
funny.
for sure.
Actually, we basically followed it. It's kind of
Yeah,
impressive.
there's only one thing that we missed, and
but
we're
we
gonna
did
do it right
we
now.
did not do it in order. That's for sure.
That's fine. We'll do the icebreaker right now.
That's yeah.
It's time
That's
to break the
icebreaker time.
ice with
Yeah.
Lane and Tyler and Josh. And I actually came up with the icebreaker today. Your icebreaker. We'd love to see your comments in the chat.
Please tell us
Please
your
make
comments.
it as efficient and accurate as possible. So, if you were a cartoon character, who would you be? It's a pretty good question. I got this idea from a list I saw based on the Goofy movie. It said, like, if you were born in this month, this would be your Goofy movie character. So I thought, hey, what are other people's cartoons that they would be?
That reminds me of the Moon Wolf.
Yeah.
Come on, Moon.
I guess I'll start so I can give you guys a minute to think about it. The cartoon character that I would be, actually, if you've watched the Goofy movie, is I would be PJ Pete, which PJ actually, his name is Pete Jr. His dad's name is Pete. His dad's kind of awful, but he's pretty funny in the movie. Plays a villain in most other stuff. PJ is kind of this goofy sidekick friend who does not desire the spotlight. He's kind of just fun and like fat. That's me.
Are you saying that fat
I've
people
got
are inherently funny?
No, I was saying that
But
I
I
was
agree.
fat. PJ Pete is seen in the movie listening to music, vacuuming. I mean, I'm all into that. Like, look, PJ is me. He's my spirit animal. He's a dog. He's just fun, happy to be around with, supports his friend. Great personality. That's what I'm saying. Not the spotlight guy. Great personality. That's me and PJ.
So
A little clumsy, kind of goofy.
So I have a lot that I would love. Some from video games, some from Disney, some non-Disney. So I'm going to give you some of my my honorable mentions, some runners up. One runner up that we were just talking about is Link from Legend of Zelda. He's classic. He's noble. He's heroic. He's fantastic. And he saves Hyrule. Another one of my runners up is Zuko of the Fire Nation from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's a good one.
His story arc and redemption arc is classic.
Really good.
It's wonderful. But I think the character that I would be is this from the Toon Disney.
You cut out. You cut out right as you're about to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we?
Yourself?
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna be a specific version of this character to clarify, because it matters. So I'm going to be the version of Buzz Lightyear that was in the TV show Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Yes, Buzz Lightyear.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Great cartoon.
Fantastic cartoon, good, solid movie kickoff to the show. So yeah, that's my pick.
It's good.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna go ahead and be like super basic here and just say Batman, because like you get to have lots of money and you get to have lots of like gymnastic ability. You get to fight criminals, and you get to drive the Batmobile.
That's. I think that's a great pick.
Batman has everything.
Would you say that matches your personality?
Batman is all the things that I wish I could be.
That's fair. I mean, knowing your love of politics and your intent to balance justice, I could see that.
Someone in the comments said Thanos, and I responded with, "The hardest choices require the strongest will."
Yeah.
That's a good quote. So it like Lane, I'm gonna say for you, I honestly thought of this. I could see you being Sokka from The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Like just kind of you've got really good goofy jokes, but like
Thanks.
you're very reliable in there. Like I just felt like that fit.
I also don't have superpowers. Thanks, guys. But here's the thing.
Neither does Batman.
But here's the thing. I dated the moon. That's cool.
Hey,
I got a super awesome warrior girlfriend at the end, so that's nice. So that's fun.
Amy Johnson.
I got some dope weapons and a nice boomerang.
Oh my
I'm
God.
into that. Amy Johnson replied to Josh's thing and said parentless.
Wow.
We were all thinking it, okay?
Who's parentless? Sokka?
Josh.
I realize now
Although Sokka not far
it's
off.
like Batman is everything I wish I could be.
Parentless?
No, Mom and Dad, I love you.
Some quotes do not always fit the exact segment.
That's right.
Well, that was fun. I'm glad that you said
fun.
that. Thanks to the people who commented in the chat. I think Sarah's Thanos comment probably takes the cake. We're gonna get serious now. We're gonna do the Devo with Lane.
So before we go into that,
I'm ready.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the stream, and we're only 21 minutes down.
We're doing really good.
So do we want to do what we discussed to do next week now? Because I'm ready.
You can if you want.
Okay. So, guys, just to let y'all know what's going on. We had discussed not doing candles with Lane today, but because we're doing very well on time, we can go ahead and do that. So
this is a
special
just
edition.
for you, candles with Lane.
So main topic for candles today is, what is your scent palette? What kind of smells do you like? So there's a couple different categories. There's the strong natural like robust earthy flavors. So like that's like campfire or
teak
like
wood.
Different types of wood flavors.
Pine tree.
Then you have like the fruity flavors that are like apple and like lemon and
Volcano by Anthropology.
That's right, Volcano. And then we have something that's kind of in the middle, kind of different in between, which is like the fresh scent. So you have like vanilla and like fresh linen and stuff like that.
Rose.
So we're gonna start with Tyler. What do you think are your favorite things to smell? What do you think? What kind of scent palette do you think you have?
So, I'm sensitive.
Okay.
And I mean that I don't like super strong scents.
Right.
I am against all things sweet and fruity.
Okay.
It's too much. It overpowers the senses, and I can see a place for it in your life when like there's other stronger scents you're trying to get rid of. But I am Sarah Davis likes smelling weeds. Weeds. Pulled up fiery grass from the yard. That's what she meant.
Chris, is that a weed?
And to keep going, so I'm all into earthy, natural scents because they're not as strong typically. They're not as overpowering. They're more natural, and they make me feel like a better person.
Great.
I'm against. I'm going to say this right now, and I know that my wife's not listening, but I hope I'm talking loud enough that she can hear me. Volcano by Anthropology is not. I'm not into it. Bailey, our receptionist, which isn't really her role, I'm saying that she has it at her desk. She can light it if she wants, but it's not my favorite. I'm going to say that right here, right now.
Okay, I'm curious. I'm curious. Can you describe this scent to me?
It doesn't smell like a volcano.
Have you smelled a volcano before?
The answer is
I'm
no.
frozen. I'm frozen in my
Does it
tracks.
smell like boiling rocks?
No.
Okay.
No.
It smells like if you added sugar to like apple pie.
So just like more, it's like sweetened apple pie.
Yeah, super
not
like
volcano.
cooked fruity. No, not at all.
Okay.
I think that
And
leads directly into my like feelings about the whole
Yeah?
issues. I don't like.
Let me hear it.
I'm okay with fruity candles as long as they're not like food.
In
Fruity
my
candles.
room.
Like
Oh,
I like
that's fair.
apple. I will like the scent of like an apple candle, but I don't like apple pie or like orange cream soda scented candles. 'Cause I'm like that just
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
makes me hungry, and I'm like I already eat a lot of food. Like I don't need to have these candles that make me hungry.
So my mom has one that's seasonal that I like a lot. It's called Christmas cookie.
Ooh.
It just smells
Oh.
like you're baking like shortbread
Christmas
or
cookie.
sugar
Yeah.
cookies.
Okay, I
It's
can get down with
it's great. So I would say for me personally, I lean more towards like the vanilla fresh scents, but I equally enjoy like the darker like wood scents and the fruity stuff. It just depends on what the mood is, what the occasion is.
Yeah.
Something I like to do often, which is fun, is I go to Bed Bath and Beyond and just go to the Yankee Candle section and see if they have anything new and smell all the new candles. That's fun.
That's fair. Do
Yeah.
you have like maybe this is a discussion for another day? I'm gonna save it. Yep. Sorry, everybody. Sometime later, I'm
Ooh.
gonna ask Lane how he feels about liquid plug-in scents. That's what I'm
Okay,
thinking of.
that's an
Liquid
interesting
plug-in
topic.
scents.
Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
my candles like I like my coffee. Black, earthy, strong in a earthy sense.
You
Not
know,
strong.
there's this might be
This is not going how I
slightly
would.
controversial, but there's a
Okay.
candle that's like
Is it
coffee, like coffee
Uh-huh.
and like cigar smell.
I probably would like it.
Why would you
It's
do that? Just
wonderful.
go to a cigar lounge.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Like why do you
be
need a
oven,
candle?
but like go there to smell stuff only.
Because when you got a kid, you don't have time to go to cigar lounge.
I guess not.
I guess then just
I know there's one
get
at
a
Bridge Street
cigar.
next to Great American Cookie. So you're getting some good smells all around there.
It sounds like information overload.
Next time we do this segment, I need to go like raid my sister's candle collection. Get a bunch of
Just
them.
be like, all right,
Like
here's
here are all the
Lane,
candles.
that's
Here's this one. Here's this one. Like the
yeah,
ones that
that's
I
a good
like.
one for later, Lane. Like find candles from your apartment and just be or your house and be like, look, this is what I'm sniffing.
I can absolutely do that.
But
That
yeah,
would be
we
fun.
should all do that.
On a serious note,
yeah,
devotional with Lane.
that's right.
It's
So,
happening now.
If you tuned in yesterday to Bible Talk with Tyler and Lane, we talked about First Peter and what it means to be holy, as Christ is holy, and what that means in our community, and what that means individually. So, kind of spinning off that, I had some thoughts about what I wanted to do, and with the context of everything that's happening, my first thought was I want to talk about um, the concept of idle hands or the devil's workshop, and how we need to be productive and active in our just everyday life, or Satan can take advantage of that. And then I was doing some research, doing some Bible study, and kind of came to the conclusion that what I really wanted to talk about was the first 8 verses of Romans chapter 12. So I'm going to read that, give a few thoughts, and then turn it over to Tyler to see what he thinks about these verses. So
Okay.
if you have your Bibles or virtual Bibles with you there on the Google tab, we are in Romans chapter 12. We're going to read through verse 1 through 8. So here we go. It says, "Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect. For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought to, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment. In accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you, for just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully. So at the beginning of this passage, we have the idea of giving your bodies as a living sacrifice. And what that means for us is in everything we do it unto the Lord, and live in humility and live sacrificially to God and to others. So, Tyler, what do you think about this passage? What do you think about what it means to us in this new context of life?
Man, I mean, it's hard because a lot of this is like, it's easy to apply to ourselves when we get to see people all the time. So I think the question is, how can I be a living sacrifice to God right now? How can I use the gifts that I have, like to serve God and other people when I can't, like I just can't really see them. So I mean, an example, like Josh helps us out with these videos and streaming these videos. That's a way to produce yourself as a living sacrifice using your gifts of grace. Like,
and we are very thankful for that.
Yeah. Preach. I think when we talk about how do we use our gifts, let's think about what are the things that I have a desire to do? How can I serve people by doing those things? Let's set the bar lower. So a lot of times when we talk about like our calling or our gifts that we have, we're trying to think of like a spiritual ministry or something. And I think the Bible wants you to think more about it in a practical way rather than like this huge, big way, because really the biggest things we can do is the little things for Jesus. So whatever things that you have on your heart that you really would like to do or feel like would serve other people, you should first tell your parents about it and see what they think, and then come up with a way to use those gifts. So if you have the gift of encouragement, call people, your grandparents, your friends, whatever, and just like be encouraging to them. If your gift is more service, call people and ask them how, like, what needs do they have or how can you pray for them? That's been a fun thing I get to do with phone calls as a pastor. Every week we get to call different groups of people and just ask them how we can help them or pray for them. So little things like that can make a big difference over time is always awesome. And it's a way that, even though it seems maybe sometimes tedious or it doesn't seem like it makes a big difference, it's how you're presenting yourself a living sacrifice to God.
And I think I know I've talked about this before in person, but I don't know if I've shared it with y'all. So I think this relates to every interaction we have with people, whether that's being a good listener and not interrupting, or whether that's having a good attitude or being kind to people and just showing the love and the heart of Christ to people, and being sacrificial in your attitude and in your actions to serve others instead of yourself.
Yeah.
So just with little things, maybe that's taking out the trash or doing other chores or just making someone's day in a way that you know that they would enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Lane, round of applause for Lane. Not for yourself. Lane, appreciate the Devo. Reminder, guys, do not forget tomorrow, Good Friday service at 4:00. You can view it on Facebook or the church website. And don't forget about our Sunday service for Easter Sunday at 9:30, also on the website or Facebook Live. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay classy and be bright.